Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Detroit Lions. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion, as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New England Patriots taking on the NFC champions, the Detroit Lions. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl, all the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go in Super Bowl 59. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything, the ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size. But the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
Ready? 180.
51 to mine. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. The shotgun snap for Newton. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Patriots take over. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, Michelle. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the cornerback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that deep? Defense right there. Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
On 2nd and 9, Newton toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Michel. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on second? And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Damian Harris who finished things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Newton. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there. But now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Newton. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 39 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. You ain't going nowhere.
From the 50, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Oh, a nice spin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And an alley to run. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 58 yards. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Get ready.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Back to the air. Newton on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Baby! Good job.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. From the gun, here's Newton. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. First and 10. Flushed out right. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. N'Keal Harry, 55 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now the point after try for Santos. And it is now 21-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Ready, set. 52 by 52. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll look to throw. Well, they're making an effort to get the... And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Lions. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Newton, screenplay, Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
On the ready.
51's the mic.
Cut.
On second down, Michelle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Here we go. Here we go.
Get it.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want.
And this is caught at the 20. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here we go. 8, read.
Check tight end. Check tight. Check tight.
Right up.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here we go. Set. 30 base.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
5.
Back to throw. Slide. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Come on,
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Shoot.
They'll run out of the gun with Michelle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's calm the crowd.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Don't let him breathe.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Hey, check.
Great.
On second and a couple. Newton, blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Newton, and that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he is inching closer to that 100-yard mark.
And that's the goal. That's the benchmark that every runner in the NFL is trying to get to. And he's locked in on it pretty well right now. And I would suspect that his linemen are locked in pretty well, too. They know that if a guy gets over 100 yards, they've done a great job, too.
You think every starter sort of has the number 100 in his mind before a game?
I guarantee that they do. That's what they think about. That's what they dream about. That's what they visualize during practice all week. 100 yards, because once you get there, it's almost like you hit that number, boom, you might even get to 2.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it. This is Michel. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Ready?
Following the penalty, Michel, and an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Get in the weight room.
They're going to look to throw. It's complete. James White. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. His team showed up.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Lacoste. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they will run it with Michel. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Yeah, good job,
Sony Michel with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Santos with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through. You get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. On 2nd down, Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from the pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the 2nd quarter. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Flowers. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the ground, this is Michel. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Hey, watch the left, watch the left. Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
From the end zone, Newton. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
Let's go.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Any day. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Protein spill. Ready.
They'll throw now on the final play. Rolling to his right. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Officially an even 100 yards coast to coast on the kick return as his guys continue to pour it on. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. From the goal line all the way to the other goal line on that one. A full 100-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Newton, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This is taken at the 23. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Patriots take over.
Here we go, here we go.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, get in the weight room.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll complete this one to Barrios. That's good for 28 yards.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Indy.
I got him. I got him.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New England.
Let's go.
Sony Michel with
go.
a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise Jr., his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Newton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
You're taken right on the 30. And he's loose again. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. It's a punt return score of 70 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part, just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him.
Yeah.
Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves or those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On the ground, this is Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's going to field this at the 4. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear.
That is
by the time
one
you have to
positive.
leave the booth.
18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Michel, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. The backup Stidham, his first throw, eluding the pressure right. He's going to air, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Philip Dorsett, 42 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here come the Lions now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4. Newton nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ely, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Down. 18 Gator.
51.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Down Michelle. They find some open field here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the ground is Michelle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
Here we go. 10-2 soft. Ready.
Now a give right side. Lockhart. And a short gain here down to the 22. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
60 outlaw.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. In your face.
Hit it.
On 3rd down, Stidham flushed out right. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. Got his man, that's Harry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the stick.
Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
They go to Johnson again. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Newton. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Great.
Now Newton on first down. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 44. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run with Michelle. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it.
And it's Michelle once again. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It's Sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll run on first down. Michel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
70, Indy.
I'm coming after you.
Now Stidham on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They come out here in the eye.
You better bring it. You better bring it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Santos with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Newton now to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton. And it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 44-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, And this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Newton throwing again. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Score! Touchdown! Touchdown, baby!
Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
We're going to work.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Newton now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. But it's going to be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to the air. Newton on 2nd down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
Hey, that's the way you finish, boy. Finish strong. Yeah, let's go.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Santos now to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Switch up.
Out of the gun, Newton completes it to Aguilar. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Again, Newton. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Dietrich Wise make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
And that's a Super Bowl record, his 4th sack of the game. I think we got to start thinking seriously about making him the Super Bowl MVP as well.
I think you're right. With him leading in the driver's seat, he certainly has a shot. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Newton. Pass to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and it's picked up by the Patriots.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on 1st down. And bulldozing his way through. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give. This is Michel. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Stidham. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. On the handoff, it's Michel. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Hey, let's go.
Stidham's going to set up to throw this. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophies. Rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. Stidham. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you just said, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The New England defense gearing up to take the field. They've played excellent. Another stop here. That would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day, and it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste, right?
No doubt about it. That 6-layer cake. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Another set. Look at it.
52 right here. 52. I got one.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And it's another Super Bowl title for the New England Patriots. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports. This is the last opportunity to re-sign your players or they'll become free agents.